Got done with a long day working up, going into town to get some dinner here. And look at that beautiful rainbow. Is that not spectacular or what? Going over the valley here. That's just unbelievable. Praise God. Wow, that's beautiful.
Welcome back to Ray's A-Frame Adventure.
Somewhere over the rainbow, episode 32.
All right, no singing, Toto.
Yeah, we gotta get back to installing the cabinets.
Well, here we go once again. The outlet for the microwave is not inside the cabinet above the microwave.
So in the last episode, we left off with having to cut a new hole for the outlet and move it over because of the microwave.
Alright, I was able to pry the box out. I had to cut the hole a little bit larger to connect them. I was able to get the nail out, pry the nail out, pry the box out. Looks like I have just enough wire to come over here and put the outlet in the new location. And good thing I was careful cutting through because there was actually a wire back here that's just running back there. So I'm going to put a couple blocks of 2x4 in here, space this out, and then re-screw the box into the 2x4. I'll screw it through right over under here and not use the nails because I won't be able to get to them, and I'll just screw it directly into the stud. Alright, going to finish up the cabinets here, and I've got the panels that go up against the range and microwave here, and then the other one will come over here and go against the side of the refrigerator, and the refrigerator will fit between them with an upper cabinet up here. But before I can install all that, I need to get the floor right because this unit here has got to set on the floor, which means I need to put in my flooring first in this area, so it's a little early, but I didn't really want to do that, but there's no other way to really install this, because I want to put the flooring to go underneath the range and of course underneath the refrigerator. So I've got my staple gun here, and this is just flooring underlayment, which gives a little cushioning, protects against any moisture that's in there, and I'm just tacking it down in a few areas here with the staple gun. Just to kind of keep it in place, and we're going to cut it over here against the wall here. And since this is an angled wall, I'm actually going to probably have to start the wood under this area here where I can tuck it first and then work my way back to this side over here. And I've got to keep a space out from the wall because this is a floating floor, meaning they kind of hook snap together, and contraction and expansion, depending on moisture in the room, will make this thing swell, and so you've got to leave enough space there for it to kind of go back to the wall. So under the cabinets, I already have a block holding the cabinet up, so it's got a little bit of room to move underneath there, so that should be fine. Okay, I've got my first board kind of just laid in there. The first boards, I should say, 3 of them. So what I've got here is, oops, knocked things off the wall here.
Careful.
Is some shims that I bought in a floor kit, and they can just expand in and out to kind of give you the right gap as you go along the wall, because the wall varies just a little bit. And that way it holds that board perfectly square. So I've got something to push up against so the joints end up coming together here in the overlap really tight. And that's what we're looking for. So kind of a straight line all the way across there is what we're trying to do. And we'll get the other pieces here locked in a minute and see how this lines up. So this is eucalyptus, actually eucalyptus solid wood from Cali Bamboo. The company's Cali Bamboo, I'm not sure, but anyway, and it just, as you can see, you kind of just slide the grooves in there and then basically get it lined up. I can do this one-handed here, make sure I'm squared up there, but basically there, and then just pop it in, and it just pulls it together. It's got a little lip in there, and it just seals in there. Really nice. So far I'm liking it. It's going down pretty good.
Yeah, I like it too.
All right.
Well, then everybody's happy.
Normally when you get to an end, you have a piece that doesn't quite fit, or you cut it off short and you'll have a piece left over. That's the piece then that you take over here and you start the next row with. But since that worked out perfectly before, I didn't even have an extra piece to do it with. What I did is I took a new piece, cut it in half, and then I started with the half over here. And so that gave me a split right here, because what you don't want is your splits lining up here. You know, you don't want them lined up here, so you want them to alternate a little bit. So cut the board in half, and that'll get me to here. And then the extra piece I have left over, the other half, will go down on this end. And I might have to trim it up just a hair, but it should fit in right like that. So
no waste, no
there
want.
you go. And
you got it.
As we get out towards the end here, then the dimensions will change, and it'll go farther down, and then we'll be able to use that end piece over here to start this row. Okay, hope that made sense.
Totally.
Okay, as you can see, the piece is just I butted up to there, it's just a hair long, and of course we need to take the cut off of that side, not this side, because it actually has the groove and stuff for locking it together. So I probably mentioned this in another video about tile.
You did.
Earlier, but what we do is we just flip the piece around and get it to where it needs to be, and then actually, I'm going to cut it on the other side, on the back side, so my saw blade makes a smoother cut. But as you can see, I butted up against there. Okay, that gets it where it needs to go. And then I made a mark on this side for the overlap. And that way, when I cut that, that'll be cutting it off the correct side. And again, I like to cut on the back side because I'm using a circular saw, which goes like this and it cuts from underneath. That way, if there's any chipping and stuff with the blade, it'll actually flake up on the bottom side, what will be the bottom side after you're done. So to keep the top side nice and smooth. This is all going to be under some trim, so it's not that big a deal, but normally that's what you want to do. Oh yeah, before I forget, I want to mention too that this flooring has a hardness rating that's way beyond oak and stuff. It's a really, really hard floor, like some of the other bamboo floors that are extremely hard and dense. But it also comes pre-finished. So it's got like a urethane coating on here, which is supposed to be environmentally friendly and all that stuff. But it's really hard, really hard.
Is it as hard as my head?
Pretty much.
I've got a chop box, what we call a chop box or miter saw, to cut this flooring, but really, I'm just cutting such small pieces, and most of it's going to be underneath the trim along the edges, underneath the baseboard. So I'm just using my circular saw with a triangle here and holding that tight with the circular saw against it, and just cutting through the wood. And it's a sharp blade, so it really does a fine job, and as long as I keep it square to the triangle here, everything is good, and it's a nice smooth cut. So as you can see here, there's the angle square, and it just comes out to be a really nice square cut. And I just had to shave a little bit off, and it works. It works excellent. You just got to take your time though. Okay, so wherever you have a seam, you can use the foil underlayment tape to make sure then that you've got, again, a waterproof kind of airtight seal in between the underlayment pieces. All right, I've got my space left for my wood flooring there, the expansion gap.
With shims
and
removed.
then I just cut a little piece of quarter-round molding here, and I'm just going to stick this up in here in the corner, right up against the wall. And I put a little silicone, actually, and that'll just hold that in. I won't have to nail it. I'll just press it up against there. Just got to take a break from work, heading up to Fall Creek Falls here, and going down the cable trail, down the mountainside here, down to Cane Falls. And not many people know about this trail. It's really steep, but you've got this cable you kind of climb down, use it as a guide down the rocks, and we'll go take some pictures of the falls just a minute. At the bottom of Caney Creek Falls.
It's a tongue twister.
And there's actually a few people over here down here walking around, but it's most of the part. It's pretty quiet and absolutely beautiful. Oh, there's my friend Bob up for a visit. There he is.
Hey, Bob.
We're over here at Fall Creek Falls enjoying the beautiful scenery today. June 12th. And my other friend Richard has come up to help with the cabin.
Yo, Richard.
All right, guys. I've got one of the side panels up here, and I've got to put this last cabinet up here. So I put a little ledger block here, just a small little scrap I had left over. It's about all I've got here. And then a block in here with some clamps on it. And I'm going to try to shove it up into that corner and see if I can screw it. All right, everybody. Think good thoughts.
Waffles, bacon,
All right, when installing
pizza.
the range,
Okay, we got
you
it.
got to make sure it's level. So we took off the bottom drawer here, and it's got a screw fitting over there and one over here. So my ratchet's actually sitting on it. And you can tighten this or loosen it, and that'll raise it up and down. You can get to the plug back here. And the front's a little bit different. We have a nut on here, and so that just takes a wrench on that to adjust those legs. But in order to do that, you're going to actually have to... Oh, look, we have a level cooking inside there.
Where's my pizza?
We have to level it up, and so just putting the level diagonally fit inside the oven there, and it's all level. Oh, one other thing I want to mention is that anti-flip bracket is back here too, and that's where the foot has to engage in that anti-flip bracket that we had to put back in there on the wall. And that keeps it from tipping over when you lower this down and you have your Thanksgiving turkey all the way out on the thing here, and a child comes in and goes,
I'm
and the
hungry.
whole thing falls out.
Stay focused.
And I've actually seen that happen.
Was it
So
you?
it does work.
I'd rather not say.
All right, because I decided to go with the bigger appliances,
Bigger is better.
standard size appliances versus the small stuff, which was about twice as much money.
And cheaper.
Everything in the kitchen changed and it got shifted over, as we talked about before. I ended up having to move some outlets and everything. And what that left me was not enough wall space for the light switch, which ended up being inside of the refrigerator area. So what I'm doing here is I'm just wiring into a box. I'm gonna put a new wire from the box, close that up, and make a new box that comes out the side panel here. And then that'll have the switch on it, which will control the light here in the home. And I have this design with the refrigerator in mind. There's enough width in here, width in there.
That's all, folks.
Okay, enough width in there to hold the box, so that the box will miss the side of the refrigerator as it goes back in. Okay, I think we got it. I got it. You got it?
We got it.
All right, I drilled some holes and used my jigsaw and cut out a square hole for the box here. And I'm just gonna drill a few little pilot holes for the little screws that are gonna hold the box on. Sometimes when I'm out of a bit or my bit broke a little bit, I don't have a small enough bit, I'll just use a finish nail or something inside the drill, and just to give little starting holes. And that works good. And, you know, sometimes you gotta use what you have on hand.
Thank you, Mr. MacGyver.
Well, it looks like I've made a mountain out of a molehill with this project here.
Surprise,
anyway,
surprise.
I got it in, got the box installed. This is going to clear hopefully the refrigerator when I push it in from the back side. But what I ended up doing was actually mounting that box from this side, which I probably should have done in the first place. That way it actually, the thickness of the wood panel gives me a little bit more room back here, so it's a little less that this sticks out, which should clear the refrigerator now very easily coming back there. So that actually worked out better to do it from that side. But it's in there. It's all done. I think it's gonna work. So I knew I should have gotten a smaller refrigerator. I told myself, get the little black refrigerator. No. I want the drink in the door. I don't need the ice. But I do need the drink, the water in the door. So yeah, look, the clearance here.
Oh boy.
And the clearance back here.
I told you smaller
I
is
think
better.
I'm gonna squeeze it in there, but it is going to be tight.
You did not.
At some point, it's just a little too big.
Yeah, I said good things come in small packages.
It looks good. I like it.
Oh, brother.
So I'm getting there on my kitchen. Yes, the refrigerator's a little too big for the spot, but it's in there barely.
But you got
So
your water dispenser.
it kind of works. And my little dishwasher there. And my range. Yeah, everything's still a mess here. I'm waiting to get the countertop in.
Where's the maid?
But it works.
Yep.
June 13th, beautiful afternoon. Just got done raining, sun's back out. I got my friend Bob up here visiting. Say hey, Bob.
Hello.
And awesomeness, he's making dinner here for us. And we're gonna have a campfire stew here with our vegetables and our meat and stuff in the tin foil. Hello, Sienna, Jeremiah, Allie, Scarlett, everybody else. I'm here at the creek here, actually the Sequatchie River. So I'm getting ready to tube down it here, and I wish you were here. Tell your parents to bring you up here now.